my brief is to talk about digital leadership, and I think you probably will all agree that it is more important than ever right now, as so many people have moved to working remotely or working from home. And an awful lot of people are in leadership roles, whether they're leading a really big team or a really small team or just one other person. Being a leader really matters, and being a leader remotely and virtually it's even more important to think about how to do it well. I refer to IT as the critical hidden infrastructure. And like all infrastructures, you only really notice the infrastructure when something goes wrong. But like all infrastructures, they are all complex. They're all multifaceted. They've all got lots of connections, and they're very complex systems. And in my opinion, all infrastructures need to be designed, created, maintained by people who are professionals and think professionally and think ethically. So you see our mission there up on this slide. And the next slide, please, Brian, just talks a little bit about some of the stuff that the BCS have been doing in response to COVID-19. And it has been amazing. I have been truly impressed and inspired by the variety of things the BCS have done, but also the speed that they've reacted. And I've put some stuff up here. But you know, the Vital Worker campaign is really important. So many people in the IT profession are key workers and/or are vital to making sure that all of our organisations keep running. And that celebrates the role played by IT professionals. I think that's really important because we deserve some celebration, don't we, from time to time. I do think that the BCS is a great professional organisation representing the profession, professional members and organisations. And I don't think there's been a more important time ever to have a professional organisation for people in IT careers, because IT is ubiquitous, absolutely everywhere. And we have a responsibility, as Matt laid out very, very clearly, to really think carefully about the work we're doing, make sure that we are designing systems which are good for society, and making sure that we're doing everything that we do to professional standards. So I've been working in technology since 1980. That sounds like a hell of a long time, doesn't it? I started out in cable television and satellite systems and moved into something called teletext that most of you won't remember, but was an early version of getting text on your television screens. And I was fascinated by IT from a very, very early age. And I've basically worked in IT my entire career. Increasingly, an awful lot of what I do is what I would call transformation enabled by IT. I'm not a deep technical person these days. I never was that deep, to be honest. But I spend a lot of time translating. In my career, I've spent a lot of time translating and building bridges between deep tech IT professionals and business users or end users or other stakeholders or senior managers or whoever it is. And I actually think that translation role is important. It's a translation, a communication and an amplification role, because sometimes the best of our IT colleagues aren't also the best at communicating, and we need to get that right. So I have talked a bit about communication, but I think communication is needed for lots of different things, not just for translation, but it's also about building consensus and making sure that we are delivering the systems and the tools that people need and want, and systems and tools that can continue to be useful for many years. There's also issues to resolve. I mean, you know, life is life and business is business, and sometimes people don't see eye to eye, and we've seen a bit of that recently. I do think dialogue is important to resolve issues. I think communication is important, and I think digital leaders have a real responsibility to make sure that happens.